Hey guys, it's sorry, it's Ash and P.
Oh my gosh. Hi. Hello.
Hi.
I'm a little bit of a stickler. A stickler. A stickler. There's that word. Pickle.
You're a strict stickler.
Strict stickler.
I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, did I just step in his piss? That's what I'm thinking, right? Hey guys, it's Ash and P.
No. We're back.
Yeah. Yep. That one. Good thing you can slice. Good thing you can slice. Oh my gosh.
Music is by Dust Bowl Champion. To hear Dust Bowl Champion's newest hits, search Dust Bowl Champion on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your music. Hey guys, it's Ash and P.
Hey.
How's it going today, P?
Oh, it's going good, actually. I shouldn't say that. It's going good. It's just the kids are home today, so that's always a little bit of a challenge. Danny likes to wake up like a feral cat, and she's like hungry as soon as she wakes up. And so you're like, okay, well, let's give it just a second. I was out in the garage working out, and I come in, and she's like, I'm so hungry. I'm like, you just got up. Good morning. Let's start with good morning. And then I was like, when I'm done, I will come in and I will make you oatmeal. And she's like, okay. So then she was all happy. But then I came in to finish my workout upstairs. And as I'm walking in, she's looking at me, and I was like, almost, give me like 20 more minutes. She's, I'm like, you can eat a banana or something.
Yeah.
But
That's so funny. Isn't it weird how some people just wake up like, I'm not a wake up and eat kind of person.
no, me
Like,
neither.
I want a little bit of time before I start eating. I don't, unless I've eaten, like if I eat too late the next morning, I will wake up and I'm hungry.
Yep, that's happened to me.
But aside from that, like I don't wake up and just go like, okay, what's for breakfast?
I know.
Like I would rather just ease into it, I guess.
Well, and I know we're going to talk about this on one of our episodes, but when I was, I've heard this several times before. Like, you're supposed to eat something before you go work out, like something.
Oh,
so
you are?
You are. You're supposed to, because your body, it feeds your body something, right? And so then your body works to start like moving your metabolism. It helps your metabolism start up a lot faster. But I just cannot eat and then go work out. Even if it's something like everyone's like something little, have a banana, have a piece of toast, have something. I get that's not in my routine. And so I just cannot like get myself to eat something in the morning at 4:35 in the morning.
Yeah.
Before I go work out.
Yeah. Okay. If I went to the gym at like 9 in the morning, okay.
Right. Yeah.
Then I could, but I don't know. That just seems so odd.
Yeah.
What if you go midday to the gym or like evening to the gym? It doesn't matter because you've eaten that day already.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. See? Learn something new every day. That's why I don't work out, because I would hate to not have eaten before I go work out.
Is that what it is?
Kidding. Yeah. Yeah. So many reasons.
Did you buy your vest?
I haven't. Oh no.
Oh,
it kept getting stuck. I have it, but I've only worn it one day.
Okay.
I wore it because I got it on Sunday, and I wore it on Monday at work. And like I wore it part of the time I was just like sitting at my desk working, right? And then I was like, gosh, it gets heavy.
It does.
Just like on your shoulders, you're like, okay, this is kind of heavy. And then on my break, I went out and I did a mile walk with it, but that's all I've done so far. But I was like, you know what? I should do like lunges with it. Oh my gosh. It's time for me to
get an ice cream. It's an ice cream time.
I have to have non-annoying alarm sounds, or it will really irritate me when I shut it off. I have no idea what I was doing last Friday, why that's on, but did I have an appointment?
I don't know. I didn't think so. You went to Cassie's.
Yeah.
Friday.
Huh.
Like at this time, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I was there around this time, so I don't know. That was weird. Huh.
Mm.
Oh wow. But um yeah, I feel like I need to do like some lunges and things like that
Yeah.
with it. Just, you know,
Yeah.
little
I
stuff like that.
started putting it on with my like warm up workout. So like
That's smart.
jump roping with it. Oh my gosh. I was like, do not gain this amount of weight. You know? Like,
Well, it's so the funny thing to me is I'm like, okay, I am not that much like I've lost some weight, right? And so with that, it only puts me a little bit more, right? Because
yeah.
I've lost about 4 pounds less than what that vest is, and so I'm like, it's not that difficult to go on a walk with. Probably because my body's like, well, this is normal, it's fine. But just sitting there and working, it does feel a little heavy.
Yeah.
So it's weird. But
Well,
I was also only walking. I wasn't climbing, like I wasn't going on a hike where I'm climbing up steep stuff. I wasn't jump roping. I wasn't doing anything that
yeah.
like real impactful, I guess.
So it's just crazy to me, like when I had it on, like, well, when I have it on and I'm doing something, I'm like, my heart rate, like it
Goes.
brings it way up really quick, which is awesome, which is what I
Yeah,
want. You want that.
right.
So I notice a big difference with it now. I had it on like the first time I did it with my whole like warm up. I was also doing like stretches, and I was doing some ab work, and I just started busting up. I'm like, I need to take this fucker off when I'm laying on the ground. Like
Yeah,
this doesn't work well with
I'm
this.
sure it's
But
not easy to do like something where you're laying on your back, or even if you're doing like crunches, it's probably, I guess
yeah,
it's not too much over your stomach, but it it does go,
yeah.
so it's
Well,
probably a little awkward.
I had it on, and I'm a sweater. I sweat pretty quick and pretty easy, and so usually when I go out in the garage, I start with the sweater, and then it's quickly off, right? And so I'm just like in a sports bra and pants. And one of the days when I was jump roping with it on, I had already taken my sweater off, and so Tony gets home, and the garage comes up, and he gets in, he's like, you got anything under that jacket there? And I was like, yes, I have a sports bra under. Oh my gosh. Not just,
No, I'm just wearing this vest. It was the vest. Is that what it
yeah,
was?
yeah, the
I'm just
vest.
wearing this vest just right on top of my tatas.
Yeah,
Feels so good.
I'm free totting it around. Yeah,
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I did get it. I do need to use it. I figured, well, if I take it with me to work and on my breaks I do a walk with it, at least
yeah,
I've done that.
that's awesome.
Um, but I was like touching my butt and I'm like, it kind of needs to lift up some, So it's like
Hmm.
maybe if I'm doing lunges with it, that will be helpful.
Okay, so speaking of that, okay, well, you know what I was thinking too? I think I want to get ankle weights too. Just want to be
I
all
have
weighed down.
some.
Just want to be all weighed down.
I was thinking when I was walking, I was like, gosh, I should have brought my ankle weights
Yeah,
because
why not?
walking,
Right?
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I have to tell you, so um I've got to like shed some lbs for this so I can wear a dress for our little ceremony and not have my front gut hanging out, my front
Your
butt.
front butt.
um and uh and so I was looking into a few things, and I had used, I think it's Mei Lee, it's the B flat for your belly.
Oh, uh-huh.
I used to use it, and I really do think it's one of those things, like, I don't know, is it placebo? Like, does it really work, or is it in my head? I'm not sure, but I'm going to start using it again because I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about the butt mask that you can do. And people are saying it really, really works, that they
It
feel
lifts it?
it lifts it. It lifts your butt.
Oh, I need that.
And I have been, a lot of my workouts, like at least twice a week, are really heavy, like booty workouts. And
Yeah.
so I'm like, if I do that and I get the butt mask, I tried to buy it when I was at Ulta yesterday, but they were out at the one I went to. So I gotta order it from another one over here.
You went to Ulta?
I
Does that
did.
mean you finally shopped for yourself some?
I did. Okay, so I'm not kidding, guys. I don't know what happened. There is amazing shopping all around me, and I cannot get my ass to get out there and go do some shopping. I just cannot shop for myself. I don't know what it is. I don't want to do it. It doesn't sound appealing. And maybe too, I'm just not like feeling my body. I don't know what it is. I'm also like, I don't want to spend money, and, all these things, right? So I'm just like, the only places I shop are the grocery store, which is really just like Trader Joe's, Costco, or Sam's Club, and Amazon. That's really just about it. Well, yesterday I was not having a good day. This week's been a little weird for me. I don't know what it is. It's just been an off week for me. And I did, and it could be too that I was drinking this week, because like
Oh, yeah,
I
you
had a
did say.
I had a drink on Tuesday with a girlfriend in town, and then Wednesday we went to dinner with our friends that were in town, and so we had drinks then. So then I just woke up yesterday and I just did not feel good. It did not
Yeah.
feel good. And I was supposed to go out again last night. I didn't even go. I was like, I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to go. I just don't want to.
Priscilla, this is 40.
I know.
I guess we're just,
I'm
I
so
don't know.
old. Like, what
Can't even
happened?
drink. I don't
No.
know. I don't
I just am
know.
like, it's not, I don't know. It didn't like sit well in my stomach. Plus I was drinking, like not drinking. I've been eating a lot of soups, and because I wasn't feeling well and I had a sinus infection,
Yeah.
I was doing like broth, spicy broth. We had pho. And so I don't know, maybe I just didn't have enough like calories in my body. And I don't know, but yesterday I was so off, and I was just like, I don't want, I don't even want to work. Like, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to watch TV. I don't know. I was like in this weird, funky mood. So I was like, all right, get dressed, get up, go shower, and leave the house. Like, you need to leave the house. And so I did. I made myself leave. I actually bought a pair of jeans. I went to the store. I tried on jeans, bought a pair of jeans.
Good for you.
And then I went to Ulta because I was like, we've talked about it. I'm like out of everything, right? I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
out of this, I'm out of that, I'm out of it. And so I just went and like did it.
Good. And for any of the guys listening, when I said good for you, they're probably like, so dumb. Shopping for pants is the worst thing ever
It
for
is.
women.
It
It's
is.
horrible. So that's why good for you that you went and you shopped for some pants and you found a pair.
I know. And can I tell you, we're like, the fashion right now, it's a little, it's different, right? It's different than it was even just maybe 2 years ago. So I feel like for me, I have two pairs of jeans that are like more of the new trend, but then you're always wearing the same fucking pants over and over and over.
I know.
And
don't get them in black, because that's what I did.
Well, I got one in black, but they're like, this how the style's like, kind of like a wider leg, but it's shorter. So like it goes like above your ankle a little.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's certain shoes I can't fucking wear those with. You know what I mean? Like, there's only so many outfits I could wear that with.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of odd. They're not the skinny jeans anymore. Skinny jeans are out right now. They're not, there's no styles with them right now anymore.
And I love skinny jeans in the winter. I know we're going to be getting out of winter soon here, but still for the next probably month, because I want to be able to tuck my pant into my boots. Oh, yes. I don't like just the bottom part of my boots showing. Yeah. I just really don't like it. Yeah. And so it makes me sad that skinny jeans are not a thing. What about, have you gotten any thicker sole shoes remember when we were younger and we would have like the, not really platform, but they had the thick
Yes.
of like
the big Pumas and stuff now that are like,
yes.
yeah. No, I can't do it.
I know.
Now
Why
I will
can't we do it anymore?
I don't know. I'll do a tenny. Like I am all down for like a nice white tenny with jeans and a top and all that.
But regular, not the thick.
Not the
Or
thick.
would you do thick?
No, I didn't do, I'm thinking about it. I mean, I guess my all white Adidas ones are a little bit platformy, but not like like there are a
Not
lot of
like
them that are
the real
big,
ones.
real ones. But the weird thing about the jeans part is like, why is it that like the high waist, it's like not as flattering as it should be? Like I feel like my pooch sticks out more.
Yes.
Like I have a mom pooch.
Yes.
And then some pants, it's like the waist fits good, but then it makes your ass look flat in the back. And it doesn't like, I don't know. That's why jeans are just awful to shop for. Awful.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I don't know why that is. I feel like it's because with the style, it's not supposed to be like snug, right? It's looser fitting, wide leg. So it can't be real snug around the pooch to keep it like to support it, right?
Right.
Like maybe another pair of jeans would.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why that is, and it sucks. I really just wish that they would cater more for normal, and maybe it's not normal, what most people's bodies are like.
I agree.
Like
I agree.
most of us, I get it if the kids, but I'm not shopping in like what is the teen shopping section even called?
Like the juniors.
Juniors. Yeah, I'm not shopping in the junior section.
I know.
For the women's section, could we give a little bit of a pooch support?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Like
put some Spanx up in there. Like push it in.
Yeah. Jessica Simpson has a clothing line. Put something in there. You've dealt with weight issues. Come on, girl.
Yeah.
And not even just weight issues, just like I've had kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the pooch is like, it's like the death of me. I mean, that's what gets me all the time. I know.
That's what you are so funny about, which nobody even thinks you have a pooch.
It's there, trust me. But what I will tell you too is, listening to my podcast that I was listening to, I also bought, and I'm going to try it. And I think I might try it today because I don't know that we have any plans. If not, then I'll do it Sunday. But I'm always all about a little hack to try to, get some weight off you. And these are called, I'm going to pull up the name real quick. It's like a bunch, like celebrities do this like a lot before, like they have to go down the red carpet.
Oh, yes.
They are dried fermented apricot plums.
Okay.
And
I feel like I could eat those.
You take about half. You don't take a full one. You take like,
okay.
They said some people say even just a quarter, but I'm gonna do half. And it's like a natural laxative.
I don't think I need that.
Well, I'm gonna do it because get whatever weight off of me, out of me, do it, take it.
I already feel like I ate bad and had a natural laxative.
So it's an effective natural alternative to lab-made laxatives and probiotics. It's vegan and non-GMO. So I ordered those. Yeah. So we'll see if that gets some of this pooch off too.
Well, I think I'm going to order this Be Tight Lift and Firm Booty Mask.
Yeah. Let's try it.
Because I could really use something like that. Sorry. I normally try to...
She's having a cough attack, guys.
Sorry. So I also need something for my front butt though. To
try the B flat.
Do you think that works if you're actually fat still?
Yes. And they even have, they have a whole line of a lot of stuff. The reason why I think the B flat might really actually work is because I feel like I feel it. Like it gets kind of a
Oh,
little
like you
hot.
feel oh,
Uh-huh.
okay.
And
All
so,
right.
I feel like that probably means it's working. That's
Yes.
how I take it.
Okay. Well, that's in stock at the store, so I'm happy about that. So we shall see. Um, but I guess I have to get both of them, both the front and the back.
Yep.
I need a lift and then a tuck.
Yeah. You need the help.
I need a lift
The
and a
back
tuck other
butt,
places too.
the back
Yeah,
butt, and the
the
front
back butt
butt.
needs a lift, and the front butt needs a tuck. Perfect. Yes. Oh goodness.
so,
Um,
so hey, are you ready for your first little baby to
okay.
turn 18 tomorrow?
I know. I see your smile over there. Are you trying to make me cry? I'm not going to cry about it right now, but
That's great.
we'll see what happens tomorrow. Priscilla looks like she's making fun because earlier this week, Jason made a comment about so Hayden, my firstborn, is turning 18, and that's so tomorrow he'll be 18. And so we were talking about it and Jason says something and I just like start crying. And then he is like, "Oh my gosh, are you crying?" I'm like, "Just like shut up, just don't talk to me, like don't look at me, just knock it off." So then he's like, "Oh, I got to call my kid back." And I'm like, "What kid?" And he's like, "You got a FaceTimer." I'm like, "Oh." And then I hear Priscilla and Tony, and Jason's lied because he's trying to be sneaky about who he's calling so that he can make fun of me for crying. And I'm like, "You know what? First of all, Priscilla's had a firstborn turn 18 already, okay? So don't
Mhm.
even but then they're like asking a question and I just like start crying. I
Big
just
old
I
crybaby.
yeah, I couldn't, which it's so funny because, like, I feel like you think, oh, like, it's fun. They're turning 18. Like, it happens, right? Like, that's the whole point in it, right? We have kids and we raise them and they grow and that's what happens. Um, but I feel like I've always been like, okay, like his senior year, like I'm not gonna cry, like I'm not gonna get emotional about it. Like it's a cool thing for him, but I'm not gonna get emotional. Which I don't think I cried on his first day of his senior year. Um, and so like when he's gonna be 18, the thing about it is that nothing's really going to change. He's still living at home. He's
Hmm.
still like going to have to follow our rules. Like nothing's changing, but I don't know. I don't know why it makes me so emotional because I guess it's like he's one step closer to being out of the house and that kind of thing. I don't know why that makes me emotional. So now I've been thinking like, oh, I probably won't cry when he graduates. And now I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to cry when he graduates.
No, you're for sure gonna cry.
Yeah,
You
I
are for
thought, no,
sure.
I'll be fine. Like, it's okay. It's fine. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. What do you think it is? You've been through it.
Well, I mean, this is your baby, you know.
Yeah.
This is your baby, and it doesn't mean that they're not your baby still, but they're not a baby anymore.
Yeah.
This is their big first step of like you're an adult, and when now like you're gonna have to start figuring out adult things. It's not just about your friends or your classes or
Yeah.
your co-curriculars. This is like life is about to kind of start happening, and I feel like it goes so fast um, that it's like one of those like, okay, this is like first step of here you go,
Yeah.
into the world, my baby bird, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's what it is, and I don't know. I didn't think I would get emotional about it. I don't know. Did you cry on Tristan's first day of her senior year?
I don't think so, but I don't remember
Okay.
now. I can't remember.
Maybe that one's not as emotional because it's like, okay, well, they have like a full school year before anything happens.
Yeah. The end of the year, I think you're going to be very emotional at the end of this year. When you do all the things with them and you start to see them go through all the steps of like cap and gown and their walks and their final this and their final that and their final, it becomes emotional. I was emotional with it. I don't know if he's going to go to prom. I know he really doesn't do the like prom and formals, but
I think he'll go to prom because he couldn't take Nancy last year because of his grades.
Okay.
So she missed out on prom because of him.
I hope he does because it's it. You know what I mean? You're not going to get it again. You know, this is it.
My boss, oh my gosh, real quick. My boss, so his daughter goes to Buchanan and she's a senior. Her birthday's actually this month too. She'll turn 18. And so her boyfriend lives out of town. I think he lives maybe like in Temecula or something. And so he came up for formal and she's like getting ready. So his wife and his daughter, like his wife is getting her all ready and everything. Like her hair's all done, like she's all tanned and everything, right? And the boyfriend comes in and is like, I don't think I can do it. And he's like, what do you mean? Like you don't think you can like go to the dance or what? And he was like, I don't think I can do any of it. Like he just looks like trash. And he had a freaking fever and he's like was pretty much like I can't even get myself to get dressed. Like just bad. And so he's like so he goes into the room and he like is like, hey, so like he's not, I don't think he's gonna be able to do it. And she's like, what do you mean he's not? Like what? And so he's like, well, blah blah blah, like kind of gives the information. And he's like, he sees his daughter, which she's his second child, but like first daughter, which guys are always a little more sensitive with their girls. But he's like, you see her like trying not to cry, like she's like her eyes are welling up, she's trying not to cry. And he like she got like so upset with him, like why didn't you tell me, like at least blah blah blah. So he ended up getting dressed, so they took pictures. I think they went to dinner but they didn't get to go to the dance, and it's her senior formal.
Oh, that's such a bummer.
I think she may have gone to his formal, but it's still not the same. You know, when you go to a different school, it's not the same as going to your school's formal with all your friends.
I thought you were going to say she still went. She was like, deuces, dude. Like,
that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. Like, I was like, the least he could do is get his tux on and take a picture with her. And he's like, he did end up doing that. They went to dinner. I'm like, yeah.
I would have been like, okay, then that's fine. You're taking pictures with me. You're going to do all this.
Yeah.
And then you need to make sure that I like find all my friends when I'm there, and then you can leave.
Yeah.
and then you know, come pick me up later.
I think both of his parents ended up driving up because he drove. So they had to drive up so one could drive his car and one could drive their car.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, she was not very happy about, understandably, especially like, can you like imagine like thinking back at yourself at that age, like all of the hormones and everything?
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember always crying, but my mom says I always used to cry. And I'm like, okay, I had a jerk of a boyfriend, so that makes sense that I was always crying. I don't remember always crying, but my mom said I cried a lot. So I just like think like, oh gosh, I could only imagine like the hormones at that age being so upset.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So hopefully Hayden will be taking her to prom since there were some other issues. So she wasn't upset about it when they didn't, with Hayden and Nancy, when they didn't go. There was another thing that happened where she was like, no, it's like, it's fine, like whatever. But yeah, luckily his grades are fine. He'll be able to do it this year, but yeah, so hopefully
Good.
formal or prom, they didn't do formal, but prom I think they'll
Good.
do. So I'm
Well,
going to cry then.
you'll cry. I mean, you just see them, they start to look so grown in your eyes, and then it's like
Yeah.
you can't help but like have your little flashback moments in your head.
Yeah.
Um and knowing that this is his last time, it's also your last time with him to be going through these things, these little
Yeah.
moments. Um and there'll always be other moments, but still it's not like this.
Yeah.
And then I think about like the walk when they walked at their elementary school and they walked through I mean, that was so
Yeah, I
emotional
think
for
that'll,
me.
because I already want to cry thinking about that. So I think I will on
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah. I just think like, you know,
Did you go watch her?
hmm yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
did. And it was great because you get to take all these photos and you get to record it all and see them so grown in their little space where they were such little tiny peanuts.
Yeah.
Especially when you are like me and we dedicated so much of our time
Yeah.
there in that time in our life. We were invested so much in that community. And so then to see them go back into that, and walk, it was very, very emotional for me.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad at least I well no. I was going to say I'm glad at least I don't have any kids there, but James will be there. So I think like if I see James all excited,
yeah.
I think I'll be even more emotional about it. But
Yeah, yeah. And then you're going to see the teachers and you're going to see Yvonne and there's just people you're going to see and
yeah, at least
get
Yvonne
emotional.
hopefully will hold me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, yeah. Gosh, I didn't even think about that part. Yeah, that will for sure be emotional. That one's going to be hard, I think.
So it's so funny because I say all of these things and I am fairly emotional with my kids and I feel like um knowing that this is kind of it for me, I feel like I definitely try to live in the moment with the kids even more so now than we did when we were in Clovis. Just like trying to like give them their time, give them their space, give my devotion to them, and listen to them and record a lot of them because that's like my favorite thing to go back and see all of the videos of them.
Yes.
Pictures are great, but when you can hear their little voices and you remember how they
Yes.
say things and all of those things, it's just like, oh my gosh, my babies. And I say all that, but I think it's also really funny that as I'm now like the old mom in at the school and in the groups sometimes because I say the old mom not necessarily in my age, but like because I have Tristan who's so much older.
Yeah.
Um, I realize how many parents like really baby their kids, like baby, and I'm like, whoa. That is, and it's a lot of them. So it's not like it's just one or two. I mean, like a lot.
Now, is that something that you feel like, and I don't know if being like first time mom, if you would necessarily notice, is that something you feel like you noticed back then?
I don't know that I did notice it with Tristan, and maybe I don't know. I don't know if it's a different time, and so parenting styles were just different. I know that there's always going to be parents that coddle their kids in
Yeah.
whatever timeline you're looking at, but like this is like I don't know. I was talking to one of the moms a couple weeks ago at the school, and I think I said something about what were we talking about? We were talking about something like um, this mom that was like, oh, it was because the kids were going on a field trip. And so if you were not any parent could go, but if you were going there were only allowed so many chaperones, and the chaperones had to ride on the bus. But if you weren't one of those chaperones on the bus, you just like had to meet everyone there and then you could walk with the class. Well, there was like a mom who was very concerned about like the timing and when the bus was going to get there, and and I was just like, okay, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I mean the time on the email it tells you, right?
Yeah.
Like, so
yeah, that's all.
I'm not
I mean, can't do
worried
anything else.
real worried about it. And then she was like, well, and then they're going to have to eat lunch when they get back, so they're not going to have lunch there. So what if they get hungry? And they said they're going to give them a snack in the morning before they go, but what if they're hungry? I mean, they're going to be there for like 2 hours. I'm like, it's 2 fucking hours. Like, are you kidding me? And also, you're going, so just pack a fucking snack on you. Like,
you can give it the snack while you're there.
Like, she is tripping. She is tripping about the fact that her kid might get hungry and isn't going to have a snack. And I'm just like, I don't even know what the big problem is, because you're going anyway. So you just, anytime I go anywhere with my kids, I have snacks in my bag. Like, that's just, I always do. So I'm like, I don't understand the big deal. And so we were talking about it, and the other mom's like, well, like, I understand she wants to meet the bus at the right time or whatever. This is their first maybe field trip she's going on, and maybe she doesn't want her to get scared or whatever. And I go, I must just not have been like nurtured enough as a child to where I feel like these are the things that like get my panties in a knot. Like, I just don't understand like the overness of things. And like, there's a few moms like that will complain about things. And I'm like, do you think that your child is like a genius? I don't get it, because I'm in the class with these kids.
And they're not.
They're not a genius, okay? And like, there's this mom that was like, well, I'm just not sure. Is she even really learning enough? I mean, I don't know. I feel like she colors a lot. And I'm like, well, first of all, she can barely fucking color. Okay. So like, I don't.
They're teaching her what she can handle.
I'm like, and I'm like, they are like, what are you talking about? Of course they're learning. And I just feel like I'm so not, I don't know. I'm not a coddler. And it doesn't mean I don't baby my kids. Sometimes I still feel like I give them like, I stop, I listen to them, I hear them. I try to do fun little things with them, but I just am not like, I don't know. I'm not a coddler, I guess.
Okay. So the funny thing is that like those types of things would never cross my mind. I would be probably, a little sad, like if I didn't get to go on the first bus field trip that my kid had, just because I'm weird like that. Like missing that first might make me sad. But I don't think that it would be something that I worried about, like, am I gonna make it there on time? That kind of thing. I wouldn't worry about that. The snacks, that also would never have crossed my mind, because I don't think I really ever packed snacks for my kids at school. Here and there, maybe, like if we had something they wanted, but like on a daily basis, I wasn't like, here's your snacks for the day, that kind of thing. It just wasn't anything that crossed my mind. When we went to school, I don't think I packed snacks. Like kindergarten, there were snacks, right? But that was like snacks in class, I feel like. Aside from that, I was out on the playground playing. Like, I wasn't worried about snacks.
Well, it's like all the reels that you see when it's like, these kids with their fucking Stanley cups and everything. And it's like, we didn't even drink water when we were kids. Like, we drank out of the little faucet when we got thirsty on the playground. We didn't have like our water bottles with our engraved names on them and everything,
Right.
I mean, these bougie ass kids are fucking fine. They are
Yeah.
not going to dehydrate. Your kid's not going to melt if she doesn't have an orange for an hour. I mean,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
if she needs to eat that much, then got
Maybe
a
you should
little
take her to the doctor because there's
got
either a
a little
medical
bit of
issue.
concerns. I
Yeah,
mean,
there's either a medical issue, like there's something going on with her, or your kid's big that they need to eat that often.
but I
I'm
just
just
feel like
saying.
these parents that get so worked up over certain things, sometimes I'm just listening going like, I must just sound like I'm like letting my kids go into the wild. I don't know. I mean, even like well, we've laughed because we like the kids shower themselves.
Yeah.
Now, they don't always like there have been times where I'm like, "Oh, Georgia, you still have soap in your hair. Come on, let's go
Yeah.
back."
Yeah.
Like
That's
it
normal.
happens. But I don't shower my kids. They shower themselves. I'll go in
Yeah.
sometimes and check on them, make sure they're good, whatever, but we don't do baths anymore. Like we're done with baths. We've been done with baths for a few years because I just can't. Because the kids want to they want to sit in the tub and play. They don't want to
Yeah.
just, shower and be done. So there are times where if I'm like, I don't care, I'll just let him be in the tub and I can do other things in the bathroom. That's fine. But for the most part, when it's like bedtime, you gotta it's like, we got this, we do da 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 da. We gotta make sure you
Yeah.
scrub your crack and wash your hair and get out.
Yes. Yes.
So even things like that I notice, like we no, I'm sorry, they shower themselves and be done with it.
And I think they should at that age, to be honest. Like, I feel like our girls were more coddled. I feel like there was a lot more, like, um, a little more babying with them. Um, but I mean, I still feel by the time they were Georgia's age, yeah, definitely showering themselves if there's something going on. It's like the shampoo or whatever, right? You make sure
Right.
they've rinsed their hair that like good enough, that's fine. They're big, and at a certain point you have to get your kids ready to be able to take care of themselves. I mean, are they going to be 11 years old and you're still giving them a bath? That's insane. You have to break it off at some point. I think the sooner you do it, the better, because I think it's harder to break kids of those things. Like, okay, if someone's there washing my hair and someone's there, washing my body for me, I might want to just let them do that for me. You know what I mean? Like, if
Right.
I can just kick back and do whatever I want and you're going to handle all that stuff, why not? Right.
Yeah.
But I think that's one of those things where it's like, you have to do these things, and you can't wait so long that it's foreign to them, right? Like your kids need to at a certain point learn to wash their own clothes. Otherwise they're going to move out and they're going to ruin all their clothes. They're not going to have any idea of what to do, and who knows, depending on where they live, they might be bringing their clothes back to, like people that bring their clothes back to their parents' house, and their parents wash them.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that's wild to me.
Yeah,
That's
it
a little
is.
wild,
I know.
but
I know. And I remember people like that. And I remember thinking, that's insane to me. My mother would never have done something like that for me.
yeah.
Never.
No, because you were still living at home doing your own laundry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I remember, we lived in an apartment complex. I would take my quarters and take the laundry soap and take my laundry basket, go downstairs, and I'd wash my laundry. It's like,
Yeah.
that's just what you do at a certain age. And your
Well,
kids need those skills. Otherwise they can't figure things out in life. Like, that helps them to solve things, right? Problem solving.
yes.
Like, you need to learn those things.
That was a big, like learning. I remember doing that with Tristan. That was like a big move for me to like get her to like, okay, you're going to start doing your own laundry.
Yeah.
When she was tall enough to reach inside the washer and those
Yeah.
kind of things,
Yeah.
the kids they're always like, oh, I hate laundry. I'm like, yeah,
You
now you know how I feel. If you don't want to put away 1,700 pieces of clothing items, then don't
don't wear
change 3
them.
times,
Yeah.
and then throw everything in the dirty clothes. My favorite is like I go in their dirty clothes and I'm like, why is there like a jacket in the dirty clothes? Like,
That they didn't
really?
wear at all.
You wore like for 1 second outside. This is not freaking dirty. Okay, stop.
Yeah.
Stop. But
That's so funny.
but yeah, I mean, my kids have to make their own bed every day and they have to put their clothes away. Do they always make their bed every single day? No, but for the most part, they do. And they lay out their own pajamas. They get themselves ready for bed. Obviously, we tuck them in and we say prayers and we do all that with them. But for the most part, they do that. I lay out their uniforms in the morning because they can't reach them. Otherwise, it's on. They know what to do. I just feel like I get nervous about like the coddled babies thinking
what are they going to do in society?
What are they going to do? And also my kids got to go to school with these kids for like how many years? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Well, hopefully those parents learn to stop that, calm down. Yes, there are certain things that you need to do for your children, but there are also skills that you need to teach your children. You need your child to realize that someone's not going to do stuff for them all the time, every day, all day. They're going to have to handle things for themselves, because otherwise you end up with these kids who kids need to be able to participate, and kids need to be able to give something to society. If you're not able to function and provide some benefit, what good are you? You know what I mean? We can't have just a full generation of influencers. Like, some of you got to do stuff, know? Not that influencers aren't doing anything. I'm not saying that. I just mean you all can't be influencers. Some of you are going to have to learn some other skills too.
Right.
So I don't know. I think we should take a quick break and then come back and talk about some good stuff that you've been learning.
Okay. Sounds good. We'll be right back. Segment music by Callie Grace. For more of Callie Grace's hits, follow Callie Grace on iTunes and Spotify today. Hey guys, we're back.
Hey.
Okay. Sorry, my kids are being annoying downstairs, and so I did go check on them to make sure that they're all
good.
What
are they doing?
George is actually fine. She's writing in her diary. Yes, she was very upset because we had they just had the book fair at their school, which I understand book fairs are fundraisers for the school, but their books are so expensive.
Yeah. And are they books that the kids actually really want, or they're books that they want because they're right there?
I think it's a little bit of both. Well, they want all the shit that they send.
The play stuff.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, we just had Christmas and birthdays. You're not buying, I'm not spending money on this. And you don't need, George is like, I need a new diary. I was like, you do not need a diary, first of all. And you have a bunch of journals. You just got a bunch of journals for Christmas and stuff. And she's like, well, they don't have a lock. And then Danny can read my diary. And I'm like, well, there's nothing in there that she can't read. And also Danny can barely read. So I'm really
not too worried about it.
I'm not worried about it. I don't think there's anything that you need to hold tight to your chest at this point right now. So, so then she was mad at me because I wouldn't let her get, but I still ended up spending $100 at the freaking book fair. Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've done a book fair, so I can't even remember. But Jackson always only wanted look at this cool Xbox remote shaped eraser. Can I get this?
Yeah.
Can I get he would want one book. And then one year, this kid at the book fair, he gets, because you would send them with money, right? And then I was never at the book fair shopping with them. We only ever went and shopped for the teachers, like, back to school night or
Mm-hmm.
open house, right?
Mm-hmm.
At open house, we would go and we would buy the teacher books. But like when they would go with their class, I wouldn't be there. So he bought this Pokemon encyclopedia, I guess you would call it. So it's like all the different Pokemons, tells you all about them, right? So not even a real book. Okay.
Yes.
It's not,
Yes.
he is reading it, but it's not like an actual story.
Right.
So he buys that. They went to the book fair probably on like a Tuesday, and then open house was on a Thursday, something like that. And so lucky me, my child, I got to show up to open house, and my kid, in his defense, he does have ADD and gets very distracted, and he is very slow at completing work. So he's got a tad bit of an excuse, but his teacher tells me when there's nothing hanging up from him, none of the little projects that they do, none of the little arts and crafts that they do, nothing's hanging up. I think there was one thing maybe of the 3 projects that they did that was hanging up. And she had to tell me that she had to take his book away because he would not, like, he kept pulling his book out and looking at these Pokemon rather than doing his stinking elephant project and doing this other stuff. Like, all of the other kids have these things hanging, and I'm like, oh, great elephant, Jackson, that you painted. Like, cool. Like, that's all that he had out because of that. So book fairs are not a fun thing for me.
No, I just, here's the thing. So now, you don't even send them with actual cash. They all have e-wallets. So they do, like, you put money on this account, and then they have the money there, and then they can go shopping. Well, I was asked by Georgia's teacher if I would set up the book fair for her. And there was like 2 other moms that helped me for a few hours. And then she's like, if you do that, don't even worry. You don't have to like volunteer or anything. Just if you can get my book fair set up for me. So I do the setup. So I have an idea of what is actually there. And I'm just like, okay. I mean, in all honesty, and here's the thing, I don't know what parents do with all their books, because we have a lot of books. We have a lot of books, and people give us books, and then you buy certain books that the kids want, but you end up with a lot of fucking books. And I'm like, I'm not a library. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with all of these books. And I've given quite a few away, like the baby books. I've given all of those away that are like ones that I only kept a few that I think like they like to keep with all their baby stuff, like they're like they're special books. But for the most part, I've given all of those away. But there are so many books. I mean, a lot. I just don't know what people do with all these damn books. But anyway, so I set up the book fair, whatever. There's like, I end up having to volunteer twice at the book fair.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. But it was fine. It was easy. And the kids, that's when they were like, well, I want this and I want that. And I'm like, no. Like, you get a book and then like we call it a day. But yeah, I still spent like $100 between the 2 of them. And I'm like, it's insane to me. And then the book that Georgia picked isn't even an AR book. So I'm like,
what book did she pick? Was that the Junie?
No, it was
a Junie AR.
Junie is AR, but it was like something Pugs, or the Pug Stories or something like that. And it looks like it's a little chapter book, but it's not, I guess, an AR book.
That's a bummer.
I know.
That's awful. At least it's a book and not like a Pokemon encyclopedia.
True.
So there's that. The other thing is with the books, what I did is, and I'm so mean because I'm taking up part of my kid's closet, I put them in totes. Like all of my Dr. Seuss books and all of like the Hungry Caterpillar books and things like those, because books are so expensive.
They
And
are.
I had to buy, like, honestly, I probably bought most of them. We here and there might have gotten a gift of a book or whatever, but it wasn't like we were gifted a lot of books. So I was like, forget this, because I feel like you have these books that they're like, when my kids have kids, their kids are going to read those books. You know what I mean? So it's like, um,
But
no,
all of
I'm
those
keeping
books,
these.
I don't know. So here's the thing. Like, okay, you know how when I had the kids and it was really, I don't know, maybe it's still popular, but you know, like when it's like for your baby shower, don't bring a card,
Yes.
bring a book. Ah,
See,
fuck
and
that.
that's hard because then
Fuck that.
people write in the book.
Yeah.
Like, I know I wrote in your books, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
I think that now that I have all of those books, I'm like, I wouldn't do that for someone else.
Well,
It's
we're
fine.
sorry, okay? We thought it was cute.
It was no, but it was a thing, and it's cute in theory, but you end up with so many books, and a lot of them you end up with the duplicates, and then you're right, then
Yeah.
people write in them, and that's what I mean, like the ones that have like there are sweet messages in them to the kids or whatever. I've kept those. I'm not getting rid of those, but there are a lot that were duplicates that we had, especially because I had two back to back kids. And then you have like all these little books, then you have medium books, then you have like chapter books. Now there are books that Tristan had that she loved. They were chapter books, like all of the Fantastic Beasts and the oh gosh, I can't think of what the kid from Glee.
I cannot think of his name right now.
I
I
know.
know who you're talking about, though. He's
Um,
from this area.
yes, it's like Land of Stories or something like that. His
Oh, yeah.
books. Okay, so all those I have. Tony actually has all of his Goosebump books from when he was a kid that his mom
I
kept.
love that.
And
See,
so,
that's what I'm talking about. Like, I had so many Babysitter Club books that I know the girls would have read.
yeah,
But,
yeah,
you know, by the time the girls came into my life, I didn't have those books anymore. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So that's why I'm like, I saved a bunch of these books because I'm like, it's expensive to buy Cat in the
Books.
Hat, Green Eggs and Ham, Fox in a Box. You know, like,
Yeah.
it's expensive to buy all of those over and over again. Now, will my
So
kids want their kids to have them? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm saving them for nothing. And Jason will be like, I told you you should have got rid of them.
I know. I guess I just save them then. I don't know. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have so many books. And then like what I try
Just
to
put them in
do,
storage.
I know. Now that I have the storage, I will. Um, like I also have sorry, I'm getting a call. I also have like some books that I feel like Danny is like trying to read right now. Like she's really focusing on trying to read. She wants to learn how to read. So she's got like a different set of books, right? Like she
Yeah.
needs different books than what Georgia needs. But I just feel like, do I limit the amount of books I put out? And
Probably.
I mean, because you can end up with like fucking, I mean, like so many books. I just don't know. I have books. There's books in their bedrooms. There's books in their playroom, and I feel like there's just books everywhere. Which I'm not saying that the books are great, but it's also just messy. You know me. I'm like,
Yeah.
da 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 da.
Yeah.
I do have books through. I have like a seasonal book box, and so like depending, like right now it's Valentine's Day, so I pull out all the Valentine's Day books. But then once Valentine's Day is over, I'm putting those books back in, and then we can maybe do like the St. Patrick's Day ones or the
Yeah.
Easter ones or whatever. But I have a bunch of Christmas books. I'm not leaving all of those Christmas books out all year long. Sorry, you can read about Christmas in Christmas season.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's just so many books. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a complainer about books, but I just feel like I'm like, what do people do with all of these damn books?
I don't think you're just a complainer. I just think that's a struggle that we have because it's, I mean, I guess if you don't want to hold on to them, donating them or doing a yard sale and selling them is probably your
But
next best bet.
yeah, and I still do have a hard time parting with a lot of books, but I feel like, like and then when the kids got baptized, we got a lot of like Bible story books,
Yes.
but I got a lot. I mean, I could end up with like, 20. I had like 20 Bible
Yes.
story books, and I'm like, they all have the same stories in them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, so it's
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, okay, I don't know that we need this many, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, um maybe donating them to, like, can the kids classroom have things like that, or no, they're only going to be like AR books?
No, they can have, I think so. It is really funny because I bought a book. I saw it at the book fair, but I was too cheap and I didn't buy it. Um, because they pulled it up on Amazon and it was half the price on Amazon. And
Mhm.
it wasn't a book that I was buying for my kids. It was a book that I was buying to read to Danny's class. So
Oh.
I have been spending, I mean, I do. I volunteer quite a bit at the school, whenever I can, and the kids in Danny's class, it's kindergarten, so it's madness sometimes, but they all have their own individual box of crayons with their name on it. And I have a few crayons in there, not like a full 24 set, just maybe like six or seven crayons. And sure enough, a crayon will be like broken or in half, and then someone says, "I need a new red. My red is broken." And I'm like, "Your red works just fine, so you need to let go."
Yeah.
Well, the book is called "Even Broken Crayons Still Work."
Oh, I love
And
it.
I was like, I have to buy this book. But I'm like, I'm not spending $20 on this book. So I will
Yeah.
go out to Amazon and spend $12.99 on the book, um, and read it to the kids. So
So, that's cute. Have you read it yet?
I have not read it yet.
No. Would you like to share what happens when you spend a lot of time at your kids' school, what your kids
I
say?
know. So the girls have been, like I said, Danny really wants to read. She's also into writing. I did let her get a diary at the book fair, just not in
With a
Georgia,
lock?
with a lock,
I wonder if Georgia was
because
sad.
and but because she doesn't have a journal, she didn't have, it just happened to
Yeah.
be that's the style. She didn't have anything, and she wanted to write things. And so she's been on this like writing kick, and so she's writing and drawing basically. And she asked me for paper the other day, which means she's getting my printer paper. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. She gets my printer paper and she's writing, and I said, "What are you writing?" She's like, "I'm writing a letter to my teachers." And I'm like, okay. And so we're in the car and whatever. And then Georgia's like, and so she's like, "How do you spell this? How do you spell that?" And she's writing it out. And then Georgia's like, "What, who are you writing this for?" And she's like, "It's a note for teachers. So I'm writing to mom. I'm writing it to mom. Mom, this is for you." And then Georgia goes, "Danny, she's not a teacher. It's confusing because she's at the school all the time, but she's not a teacher." It's like, oh my God. Okay, I'm spending too much time at the school then. If you think that I'm a teacher at the school, we're spending too much time at the school.
I love it though. I love that you get to spend time with them because I think that that's so special. I think when the boys were very little, I would have been a horrible stay-at-home mom. But once they were both in school, I feel like I would have halfway killed it. Not at
Yeah,
the like housekeeping, like I know some stay-at-home moms can really kill it in like taking care of the house and making sure everyone's fed. I don't think I'd kill it in that area, but like the helping out at the school, I would have killed it.
yeah,
And isn't it so nice though, like after all the years that you put in at Fancher, isn't it so nice that you get to do this type of stuff like during the day and when the kids are there, right? Because I
yes,
feel like a lot of the time that we put in, we had to do it after hours. We were there at after school meetings and things like that, carnivals and things that are all happening outside of class hours.
yes.
So isn't that so nice though to be
It
able to be there?
It is. I mean, I really like it. It also just helps. I think for me, my big thing too was, um, I wanted the kids. to get acclimated in their new school as quickly as possible. I didn't want it to be, I mean, it was hard. There were times where, the kids were sad about the new school because they miss their friends and they miss their teachers, and they still do. They still will say some things, but I know that if they're comfortable and I'm there and I'm making it like this is our world now, this is our community, then they will be acclimated a lot faster than just they're on their own and I don't know,
Yeah.
And so, and it has helped the transition so much. And it's really funny because there was a mom when I was setting up the book fair. She was hilarious. She's a mom in Danny's class, and she volunteers all the time, and so helpful. Well, she was like saying something. She was talking to another mom about the field trip that was coming up, and then she said something about well, you're going on the bus, right? I said, I'm not going on the bus because I think only the room moms were going on the bus. And remember, I'm not a room mom in Danny's class. I'm a room mom in George's class.
Yeah.
And she goes, what do you mean? What do you mean? And I said, I'm not a room mom in Danny's class. She goes, yes, you are with the other mom. And I said, no, I'm not the other one. She goes, so she's room mom by herself? I go, no, there is another room mom. And she goes, well, who is it? And I said, I don't remember what her name is. I said, I just help, her because she needed help with stuff. And so I end up helping. And she goes, you have got to be kidding me. Who is this other room mom? I have thought this entire time that you were the room mom. She goes, I cannot. I'm like, my mind is blown. I don't even understand. I need to know who this person is. I need to know who this room mom is that I don't even know. And I'm like,
so do you know, like, if you saw the other room mom, would you know who she was?
Yes. And now I know
her name.
Yes. But yeah, I was like, I can't remember. And I was like, you've probably only met her once. And she's like, what? So
she's all, I think you're pranking me. That's not the truth.
But then she goes, honestly, she goes, maybe she's busy or whatever. She goes, you can't be a room mom and have a job. Like, that's not possible. And they're like, yeah, they don't work. Right. So they're like, yeah, you can't be a room mom. And I was like, I have a job. I work.
Maybe you can't work from the office 9 to 5 Monday through Friday and be a room mom because then you're just not available.
Yeah.
But I think especially in today's society where a lot of people have a more flexible work, being that people work from home, that kind of thing. I think that it's definitely possible to be a room mom and have a job, but
it is a lot of work, but if you can do it, it's great. It's great.
Yeah.
And if you can't do it and your schedule doesn't allow, it's not the end of the world. Well, then
just don't sign up to be a room mom though.
Yeah.
Like that's what I don't understand about these other room moms. Like, why are you a room mom? Why did you sign up for it?
Right.
If you're not going to do anything, it's like, that would be like if I was like, hey P, let's do a podcast. Hey, I'm not going to be on it, but let's do that podcast together. You know what I mean? It's like, you can't just leave there's obviously two, because they don't want it to be so overwhelming for one parent, right? Like they want someone to be helping. So you've just said like, yeah, I'll help, but no, I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I think that sucks for those other parents, but luckily Danny's room mom has you, and you helping, and you don't mind it. And you're a good person for that kind of thing. For room momming.
Yeah. Well, it is fun. And kindergarten is always a fun time because there's always parties and there's always things. And the kids are cute and little right now. And they're not as stinky. And, as they get into like
come third grade, maybe you're out of there, but
yeah.
I'm just kidding. I would still help in third grade. Like, whenever I could.
Yeah.
I was on leave for part of third grade, so I got to help in Hayden's class with that. But I don't know. Well, that's fun. I love that you're able to do that. And even if you're confusing Danny and she thinks that you are a teacher at the school.
I know. I mean, I'm just like, I'm her life teacher, I guess, you know.
Well, I mean, really, parents do teach their children. That's definitely something that happens. But it's just funny that I love that Georgia's like, I know it's confusing.
I know. I was like,
because
okay,
she's
Georgia.
there all the time, but she's not. I could just picture her. She's a hoot. I wish that we had like some recordings of Georgia because she's a character. They're both characters, but Georgia's just like a 17-year-old, 7-year-old, you know.
Yeah. Yesterday, so. I don't know what she kept saying, but she was talking. She's like, you know, because like I'm just trying to say because like, and I'm like, okay, we've said 17 likes. You sound like a Valley girl. You sound like you're in high school. I think we need to change our tone just a little bit. And so I have to constantly tell them because they love like all those little Disney shows. I'm like,
yeah,
no high school shows. If you watch something, it has to be like a cartoon. No high school shows, because then they start talking like that, you know?
Yeah. That's tough. That's so funny. I love it. Yeah. That's great.
Well, good luck with your last night of 17.
Thank you.
Tomorrow, when I start crying. Tomorrow it all changes. He can go to jail, and it's on him. He's going to big person jail if he fucks up. He's not going to juvie.
Yeah, I'm gonna remind him of that. Make sure he stays in check. Just kidding. All right. Well, I'll let you know when I start crying tomorrow. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for swapping with us.